Hello, everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. If you're enjoying our content, please remember to subscribe. This is episode number 45 of our ongoing coverage of the Capitol riots, Mr. Tommy Frederick Allan. And we're going to learn about his participation on the fateful day of January the 6th of this year. How did he participate? How was he caught? Any interesting tidbits about Mr. Allan? Well, time will only tell as we get started, and this is our latest series of Capitol riots. Let's get started with this. On January the 9th of 2021, a complainant submitted an online tip to the FBI via FBI U.S. Capitol. The complainant submitted 4 images, which the complainant describes as postings to a Facebook account with the username of Tommy Allan. Once again, Facebook comes to the rescue to help the FBI in their journey. These postings appear to be taken in Washington, D.C. on the 6th. Included within the 4 images was the following description. This guy named Tommy Allan has several personal videos posted from the Trump rally that shows them leaving and saying they are going to storm the Capitol. He then has one of them breaking windows and some footage from actually inside the Capitol building talking to Capitol Police. He also shared a disturbing post that said the next step of the insurrection was to get rid of Justice Roberts. The FBI agents interviewed this informant on January the 17th regarding the images the informant had provided to the FBI. The informant did not know Allan personally and was not friends with Allan on Facebook. On January the 6th, the informant discovered Tommy Allan's Facebook page while viewing a post from one of his Facebook friends, which contained Tommy Allan's post. So he wasn't friends with him, but was friends with the guy who was friends with him. So the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon has caught up with Mr. Allan. The confidential informant stated that 4 images submitted with the tip were screenshots of public postings from the Tommy Allan Facebook page. Again, it is so nice of our friends here to thoughtfully collate the information for the FBI. To provide it all together and put it together in a nice package under their own username. It's like, here is all the evidence against me. Let me collate it and put it together under a thing that I'm authoring that is in my actual name. And, it does make the FBI's job a little bit easier. But, no one claimed these guys were the most brilliant people of all time. The confidential informant further described that Tommy Allan's Facebook page had one video which showed breaking windows of the U.S. Capitol building, and another video had footage from what the informant believed to be inside of the Capitol building. The informant stated that it made screenshots of the Tommy Allan Facebook page on January the 6th. One such screenshot captured multiple individuals in military-style tactical attire in Washington, D.C. with the caption, "These are my people, patriots." Another image was captioned, "You don't want to hear the evidence? Fine. Hear my roar, you effing communist bastards. Give me freedom or give me death." Image 1 and image 2 are thoughtfully provided below. And we see on image 1, we see these people in military-style gear wearing their tactical. And then we have a picture of a lion to hear the roar against the communists. Okie doke. Image number 1 appears to have been taken near the ellipse at the south side of the White House appears in the background. I'm aware on the morning of the 6th, a large crowd gathered on the ellipse to hear speakers prior to marching to the U.S. Capitol. Image 2 is a picture of the exterior of Embassy Suites Hotel at 10th and K Streets Northwest in Washington, D.C. Well, we had earlier learned that one of our miscreants was staying at the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn. And now we learned that a larger group of miscreants, perhaps together there in common, perhaps just meeting up on the day, who knows, are also staying at the Embassy Suites and 10th and K Streets. Apparently, that's the place to be if you're planning on storming the Capitol. These are good tips, I guess. So, there you go. Hey, it's a little bit disappointing they weren't staying at the Trump Hotel, though. Surely one of these guys were staying at the Trump Hotel, right? It's got to come up eventually. On January the 15th, a second complaint telephoned the FBI to report Allan's participation in the events. So there's another person who would like to say, hey, I think Mr. Allan might be involved. This informant reported that Allan entered the U.S. Capitol building and recorded his actions on Facebook and made videos of himself inside the Capitol because, of course, he did. The informant added that after Allan returned to Rocklin, California, he deleted his Facebook account and videos. Well, not before someone was able to take screenshots and document. And of course, that information is recoverable. So, subpoenas will be flying if they haven't already. On January the 16th, the FBI compared thumbnail Facebook pictures in the name of Tommy Allan provided by the informant to a photo from a government database bearing the name of Tommy Allan. Based on similarities, I believe that these are one and the same person. Airline records confirm that Allan traveled via American Airlines from Sacramento, California to Washington, D.C. on the 5th, and from Washington, D.C. to Sacramento on the 7th. He was willing to make that cross-country journey, man, in order to fight the communists. On January the 16th, the FBI conducted a follow-up interview of the second informant regarding the information that they had provided to law enforcement. The second confidential informant advised that they knew Allan and had interacted with him on a number of occasions. So now we have someone who has a little bit more personal knowledge of Mr. Allan. The first informant didn't know Mr. Allan. We're just friends of friends, literally. And now we have someone who has a little bit more bead on the person that is Mr. Allan. The enigma and mystery maybe partially will be revealed by informant number 2. The second informant also observed posts on Facebook by Allan of himself inside the Capitol building. After returning to Rocklin, California, the confidential informant learned that Allan had taken down his Facebook page and destroyed documents he removed from the Senate building in the backyard of his Rocklin, California home. So he stole documents from the Capitol building and then I guess, decided that maybe he shouldn't have this incriminating evidence around, so he decided to burn it. But apparently confidential informant number 2 is aware of this fact. So, not the most discreet thing, I guess. In the initial report, confidential informant 2 reported that Allan had removed documents from the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi's office. However, upon re-interview, the confidential informant wasn't certain the documents were specifically from Speaker Pelosi's office or documents were removed from some other location inside the building. Which I guess, fair enough. I wasn't 100% sure about that, so okay. The FBI has reviewed a closed-circuit video recording of the United States Senate chamber. On that video recording from camera number 6 of the Senate chamber, I observed an individual I believe to be Allan enter the Senate chamber. I shared several screen captures of that individual, including image number 3 to below, with an FBI agent who had interviewed Allan face-to-face on the 16th for approximately 45 minutes. So maybe we'll learn a little bit more about this interview between Allan and the FBI, but it didn't last for 45 minutes, which suggests maybe it was a little bit more than go away, I don't want to talk to you. So maybe we'll learn a little bit more about what he did or did not tell this FBI agent. But the FBI agent is like, I recognize him. I literally spoke to him recently. So, that narrows that down. An agent who interviewed Allan in person positively recognized the individual as Allan. I have met him. It's Allan. Additionally, on the 20th, the confidential informant positively identified the image as Allan. It's probably Allan. At timestamp of 3:03:39, I observed Allan within the Senate chamber carrying a United States flag on a flagpole. At this time, I did not observe him to have any documents in his hands or in his pockets. The flag in Allan's possession appears to have a gold fringe around the outer edges of the flag. Oh my God, are we going to... This is just the latest thing we need. This is just the latest thing that we need. Now, the FBI is obviously not going here, but we all know where this is going immediately, right? When we mentioned that the flag has a gold fringe on it, right? This isn't really the authorized house of... This isn't really the authorized chambers. This is an Admiralty Senate. This Senate can only determine Admiralty issues because of the gold fringe. Soft sits, baby. It's part of the Illuminati conspiracy. I look forward to that being argued in court. That should be good. A gold-colored eagle fixed to the top of the pole and a distinctive gold cord tied to the flagpole. The flag in Allan's possession resembles another flag present on this video within the Senate chambers. He may have stolen the flag from the Senate. At a timestamp of 3:05, I observed Allan standing between the presiding officer's desk and the desk of the journal clerk, parliamentarian, legislative clerk, and assistant secretary of the Senate, as shown in image 4, using his right hand to grab white papers laid out near the corner of the front desk. So maybe the papers came from the floor of the Congress that he burned. Could be. At timestamp of 3:05, Allan was observed setting the papers down on top of and perpendicular to another stack of documents. Maybe he got them from the office or something. At timestamp of 3:05, the camera pans away and Allan is no longer in view. At timestamp 3:06, I again observe Allan, yet the papers do not appear to be present on the aforementioned stack of documents. I wonder where they went. As Allan turned his body with respect to the camera, I observed white papers, which appeared to be folded half lengthwise and lodged in Allan's left rear pocket, the papers not having previously appeared to be in his pocket. Maybe that's where the documents went. They were on this pile. They're not anymore. I also observed some papers sticking out of his pocket that weren't there before. Maybe the papers sticking out of his pocket are the ones that used to be on top of the pile. You see, this is the power of deductive reasoning, people. At timestamp of 3:09, I observed Allan leaving the Senate chamber with the same flag previously described. He's stealing the flag, man. I don't know. That's just low. That's just low. All those times he said, I pledge allegiance to the flag, man. Not feeling a lot of allegiance to the flag right here from Mr. Allan. Finally, I observed what appears to be white papers in his left rear pocket. At timestamp 3:09, uniformed law enforcement officers entered the chamber from the doorway, which Allan had previously departed. In the uniformed law enforcement officer's possession was a United States flag closely resembling the one that Allan had carried as he exited. So the uniformed law enforcement officer's like, no, we're going to take that flag now. And the uniformed officer's returning it to where it should be. Good times. On January 19th, the FBI's reviewed video posted on a news media website, which appeared to contain composite footage taken by individuals inside the U.S. Capitol building. Were people making compilation videos? That's good, man. If there's compilation videos out there, like a lot of different people juxtaposed together, man, that's cool, man. We can just have different scenes in our compilation video. Could be good. There's definitely some artistic opportunities to be had there. I observed footage which showed Allan taking documents from the front desk, folding it in length halfwise and placing it in his back left pocket. So he didn't see this before from the images that were taken from the closed circuit within the chamber. Those didn't show this actually happening. So the closed circuit cameras didn't actually show Mr. Allan taking the documents, folding them, and putting in his pocket. We just had to draw an inference. But that's okay, because even though the cameras that were in the Senate chamber didn't capture them, one of the many people that were in there filming that day thoughtfully captured this exact moment, which is otherwise missing from the record. So now one of our friends here has provided the tape of this gap of time. How nice. So now we can literally see him taking the papers, folding them, and putting in his back pocket. So we got that covered. Allan's position with respect to the front desk and placement of the documents in his back pocket is consistent with what I saw on the other camera. Because, of course it is. It's filming the same exact event. Based on this, there's probable cause to believe he may have removed a document from the front desk and left it with it in his possession. Yeah, I think that might be a reasonable probable cause conclusion. I think that there might be probable cause that might suggest Mr. Allan did indeed take documents from the dais of the Senate chamber, folded them up, and put them in his pocket. Because we saw it on camera from people who were documenting their day, even though it wasn't captured by the cameras that are already there in the room. So, there might be some probable cause. On January the 18th, an FBI employee located a video posted on Facebook of another individual. More people posting images of their day. So many people want to share their day on Facebook. Facebook really does bring people together, I guess. In video number 2, I observed Allan standing outside the United States Capitol holding multiple documents in his hands. One of these documents reads, Senate of the United States Senate, apologize, let me try that again. Senate of the United States, 117th Congress, calendar of business, Wednesday, January 6, 2021. Well, apparently one of the things that he has is the calendar of business that he may have took from the dais of the Senate. You know, not for nothing, but it's not like the calendar of the Senate is secret information. So if he wanted his very own copy, he could have just, downloaded it instead of stealing it. So if he really wanted a memento of his day, he could have just gotten it for free. But he decided to steal the Senate's copy. So, that's theft of government documents. Dumb. While background and ambient noise on the video mitigated the ability to obtain a direct quote, he'd like to say some things as presumably he's stealing these documents. I observed Allan show another document and said it was a letter from Trump and signed by Trump or words to that effect. As Allan displayed the aforementioned letter to the camera, I observed what appeared to be President Trump's signature at the bottom of the document, which I'm familiar with open source information. I recognize President Trump's signature. I observed Allan state to the individual recording the video that he removed documents in his hand from the desk of Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Well, again, this thoughtfully helps narrow it down. Where did he get the documents from? Well, we know he's got some documents from the dais desk. And now we also know that he got documents also specifically from Mitch McConnell's desk. So, which of the copies did he specifically steal? As it turns out, it was specifically the copy of Mitch McConnell. So, just nice to have that all tied up in a bow. In the video, Allan then essentially stated that he had stormed the building while pointing to the United States Capitol building. Allan then stated upon entering the Senate chamber, some people started grabbing shit. And I was like, no, bro, don't don't destroy our Senate. Don't do that. I didn't feel good about that. I'm confused. Mr. Allan here didn't approve as people were taking stuff. I guess at some point he changed his mind and said, after all, now that I think about it upon reflection, taking stuff is the greatest idea ever. Upon being asked by an unknown individual why he took the documents, even though, he had just said, don't take the documents, basically, and now he's taking them, Allan replied that he was a taxpayer, or words to that effect. Yeah, yeah, you are. And again, the documents that you took seem that like they're publicly available information. So you could have just gotten a free copy. The Congress publishes its journal every day. You can download the journal if you want. You can download the entire transcripts of the day and the journal and all the records and everything. It's almost like it's public information. Allan then stated they took my flag, and they took it from me right before I left. I believe Allan was referencing the U.S. flag, which was the property of the United States Capitol building, which was recovered from him. So they took my flag, by which I mean they have repossessed their own flag. Those are different things. They took my flag versus They have taken back possession of their flag. I guess he's a possession is 9/10 of the law kind of guy. So since he has possession, that makes it his flag. I'm a little bit dubious in this particular situation that that argument works. Based on the foregoing, the FBI believes a whole bunch of things, but we don't care what the FBI thinks, do we? No, because we can talk about what the grand jury thinks. So let's talk about what the grand jury thinks and not worry so much about what the FBI thinks. All right, so what does the grand jury think? Well, the grand jury thinks that Mr. Allan over here might have converted to his use property of another. Conversion is the civil term, incidentally, but it's in the criminal statute. So conversion just means stealing. Conversion means stealing. He has converted it from someone else's property into his property, otherwise known as stealing. So he stole something. And the particular thing that he stole in this particular instance is a United States flag. So, you know, there may be some evidence to suggest he stole a United States flag. Okay, and now we have conversion part 2. The second act of conversion would be the government documents that we mentioned. He may have converted the documents from the property of the government to his own property. That's what we call stealing. Now that might be true. Mr. Allan did knowingly entering a restricted buildings. Yeah, I mean, yes, we got that pretty well down. Mr. Allan did knowingly impede and disrupt the orderly conduct of government. Yeah. Number 5, he knowingly entered a floor of the House of Congress, which is a specific offense, as I believe we've covered before. It's an offense to be in the building. It's also an offense to specifically be on the floor of the Congress. So, you know, got that one too. He knowingly engaged in disorderly conduct in the building. Yeah. Count 6, willfully paraded, demonstrated, and picketed in the Capitol building. Well, you know, taking note here that everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I will say that there appears to be, on first blush, sufficient evidence that has been made available to us by the FBI that we can reasonably conclude that Mr. Allan is in fact guilty of all these things. There appears to be sufficient evidence presently available for us to draw the conclusion that yes, Mr. Allan entered the building, entered the floor of the Senate, stole a flag, stole some documents, interrupted the flow of government, disorderly conduct, and so forth and so on. Mr. Allan might have some legal troubles ahead of him. There appears to be some evidence that might suggest that he might be guilty of these offenses, if not others. So, you know, there's all that. You know, it looks pretty good. If you're enjoying this content, please remember to give the video a like. If you're not subscribed already, you should, because subscribing would be awesome. And you know, for 99 cents, you too can become an uncivilian. It's true. There's a link that's being provided. You can click the link. You can hit the join button. Help support the channel financially. Until next time, my friends, cheers and goodbye.